lived in Atlanta for 3 years. Considering the fact that I moved here mid-pandemic, the first year I had trouble getting out and learning the city. I'm from a small-ish town in South Georgia, and Atlanta was huge in my mind at the time. I grew up dreaming about spending my 20s in a city, and Atlanta was the closest one to us. I was so excited when I made the decision to move here. But once I signed the lease and moved into my first apartment, I got pretty overwhelmed by feeling so new and not knowing where to start with creating a life here. So I got a job at a coffee shop, and that helped a lot.
Literally, I don't know what was in the air at work today.
I started opening back up and trying to be more social, which did not come easily after all the cooping up I and the rest of the world had become accustomed to.
Like, being alone and being okay with being alone is good, but at the same time, like, you can only grow so much without any other input, if that makes sense. I've been really, like, seeing the value in friendship.
Cute as hell in here. And I'm still nervous to have people over.
Regardless, I started making progress. Making changes. Good changes.
Today's just like one of those days where I just feel at home in myself.
And started to feel more like myself and finding my go-to people, places, and things. Putting it that way makes it sound simple. But finding what felt right sometimes came after finding what felt wrong, not to mention all the time it took me to admit that it felt wrong.
Just stay away from assholes.
I learned some new lessons.
So yeah, it's summer. It's almost June, and I was just sitting here thinking back to where I was at in my life this time last year, you know?
And relearned some old ones. I learned a lot. I learned how to parallel park in spots the exact size of my car. I learned a don't with me walk. And I learned that you can't live alone and have a stove for any less than $1,000 a month. There's not much a few hours at Piedmont Park can't help. And you shouldn't be questioning if the people around you really care about you. I love wording all of this, and I did it on my own type of way, but there were so many times that it felt a lot more like I was doing it alone.
In real life has been a little hard lately. Here's to hoping for the best.
I bounced back and forth between independence and loneliness constantly, and I think that's normal. Despite my anxiety's best efforts, I found myself socializing and making memories over drinks at Trophy Room, paella at La Fonda, and weekly home-cooked dinners with friends. Eventually, Atlanta started feeling, dare I say, small. I'd driven all the roads, found the best one-bedroom apartment deal on the east side, and started running into familiar faces at the grocery store. I was comfortable, but also dreaming about what comes next. In 2021, I chose Atlanta, and now it felt like Atlanta was my only option, and I was waiting on a chance for a new path to appear.
Like, I don't know what it's gonna look like when it opens, but it can't hurt to try. And the city's out there. Yeah, that could have been cool. Who knows? Let's go, and I know.
So I am back with a much needed update. It's currently present day, and by present day I mean Sunday, August 25th, which is quite a bit of time after I actually left Atlanta. I've gone through a lot of changes in the past few months and just like needed time to process that, kind of step into a new phase of my life, which is where I feel like I left off. Nashville has been treating me really well. I've already made a pretty good friend group, I feel, and I feel like it's gonna be easy to grow that friend group and make even more friends during my time here. I feel like I've found a sense of community a lot faster here in Nashville and love that because it's really not easy doing everything by yourself. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm living with my boyfriend now, and that's been really sweet. And I also kind of wanted to touch on like the whole burnout journey that I've been on. Honestly, it's hard for me not to be hard on myself. I speak kind of negatively about myself when it comes to this thing a lot, and I'm not trying to keep doing that, but a little bit of tough love is good, I think. And I just know that I'm letting my perfectionism turn into procrastination when it comes to videos, and I don't love that about myself. I have done that so much. Hello there. Also, sorry about the sound quality, but also not very sorry, because not everything has to be perfect, which is what I'm trying to get to. But I let the fact that everything has to be perfect keep me from working on things so much, and I just need to stop that. It's putting everything that I want to do on hold all the time, so currently trying to work through that. But I'm really excited about how this video turned out. I don't know, I feel like with every video I think I'm in a little bit of a different inspiration era, and I want to like dip my toes into like, ooh, what if I did something like this? Or ooh, what if I did something like this? And like editing can be a lot of fun for me, but also it can feel like a lot of work at times because it is a lot of work the way that I do it. But here I am complaining about I don't want to do it unless it's perfect, and then I'm like, but it takes so long. Yeah, it takes long to make things perfect, you know? I still work a full-time job and I love it, and it's honestly a great way to meet people in the community and make friends. And I just got off work and tomorrow's my day off, so I'm really gonna try to like sit down and get a bunch of stuff done right now so that I can get this video posted, because I'm tired of sitting on it. I'm tired of saying like, oh, I'll do a little bit today, and every time I sit down I like find a stopping point because something is not, I'm not happy with it, and I just can't do that anymore. So the goal right now is to get a few things done and then find a stopping point and maybe go sit at the restaurant where my boyfriend works and have a drink or two, and maybe ask a friend to join me. So that's kind of a little update, but yeah, enough said. Time to lock in, you know? Clock in and lock in.